In the heart of Nevada County, there's a place where hope has a second chance. Meet Sammie's Friends, a nonprofit organization dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming animals in need. Since 2004, Sammie's Friends has been a lifeline, providing medical care, love, and forever homes. Every animal deserves a second chance. That's why we do what we do. Thanks to supporters like you, these tails keep wagging. Be a friend, be a hero, be part of Sammie's Friends, because every life matters. Donate today.
Welcome back. I'm Lisa Swarthout. I am here today at the Bark-A-Thon for a great cause. We're raising money for Sammie's Friends today. And I am here with Leeron Liftik, who is a dog behaviorist. So tell us what a dog behaviorist does.
Yeah, good question. Well, generally speaking, a dog behaviorist works with dogs who struggle with fear, phobia, anxiety, and social conflict. So really emotionally driven behaviors that are sort of maybe resistant to some of the more common training inputs that people typically use to address their unwanted behaviors.
Okay. So if I have a dog at home, and I'm going to say hypothetical, but this might be true. If I have a dog at home that I just got, and he's very scared of me, is that a pretty common, and so will you come to someone's home and observe the dog in their actual environment with their other animals? Is that the best way to start?
Yeah, usually it is. Most people have issues with things that are going on in their home first. Or very often the things that are going on outside are a consequence of what's going on at home. So very much, gaining some insight into the home environment is often a really good place to start. And you can kind of see the dog in their most natural, most common, perhaps safest environment.
Okay. And I'm sure that there's certain methods that you use, because most of us, when we don't know how to deal with our dog, we just yell at them.
Sure.
Which is probably not, just like yelling at a child, it's probably not the most productive thing. So when you have a dog and that needs to be calmed, how do you start with that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you're right that oftentimes when behaviors are emotionally driven and they're like fearful or they're overwhelmed, yelling at them does not create often long-term sustainable results. So oftentimes what you're trying to do is bring them to safety, help them to feel more comfortable. Now that might mean offering them verbal reassurance, maybe some affection. If you can get them to eat, that's a really good thing, because eating is consistent with relaxation. And if you can get them to sniff and eat, like you scatter some food on the ground for them to sniff around to, and then eat, you're probably really starting to affect their physiology, their physical body, in a way that helps their emotional body to feel a little bit more relaxed. And you don't need to worry about reinforcing fear or reinforcing unwanted behaviors in this way. You can't reinforce emotions, so there's a big difference in training and behavior, where like sometimes in training you're like, if I ask you to sit and you do down, I don't want to deliver the reward. Those rules don't exactly apply in behavior.
So it's different than obedience training, because you're actually trying to get the dog to be comfortable with you as their person, or their, I don't like to say owner. I like to say they own me, because they rule. I have two, and they rule my life pretty much. So, well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing this. I will be calling dog nerds to have you come over and help me with my dog that I just got about a month ago. And thanks so much. We will be right back.